What's up, Guardians, Raiders, Casuals, and everyone in between? 'Tis I, JC, the MMO legend, fresh from the Eversong Forest, drenched in the blood of the cursed Lightbloom menace, with news on the latest World of Warcraft expansion, Midnight. This is part 1 of a series that will go over the latest installment in Blizzard's cultural phenomenon. Somewhat recently, my Orcish monk reached level 90, and I played the final chapter of the story so far. So, what did I think? Well, let me preface this by saying that I followed Warcraft's story pretty loosely since the beginning. This has always been, first and foremost, a game series that has been about the gameplay and world building before the actual story for me personally. Although it obviously does have some standout moments over the years, to me, WoW's main selling point is that it has best-in-class tab targeting combat, as well as some pretty fun RPG mechanics. The fact that I grew up playing games like Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3 is more of a side bonus to me. So let's talk about the story for this latest update in broad strokes, with many spoilers ahead. There's a lot going on here. This story could be broken up into 3 or 4 major sections. We have the story of the Blood Elves and their battle against Xal'atath to prevent her from corrupting the Sunwell, and opening the world of Azeroth to an interdimensional invasion. In a last-ditch effort, the defending forces flipped the Sunwell into overdrive to repel Xal'atath's Void army. This gambit paid off, as the one enemy was repelled for now, but the drastic increase in light energy was disrupting the local ecosystem, resulting in a new group of light-infused monsters known as the Lightbloom, running rampant through the countryside. And it seems like certain paladins or light magic users are being affected and acting overly zealous as well.
You fucking shit! I didn't rig shit! I didn't fucking do this!
There are some fun stories within this major beat where you get to help a brother and sister of local trolls work out their differences and come to an agreement on how trolls and elves should get along. You also go on several different trials to restore the connection between the ancient guardian spirits known as the Loa and their troll people. We also get to go underground and meet another ancient secret race of almost troll-like plant people known as the Harandir of Harandar. They've been living underground for a millennia, completely isolated within their own hollow earth-like ecosystem. The corruption of the Lightbloom has driven their wildlife mad as well, and a root keeper of the Harandir, known as Orwena, has gone out to seek aid from the surface dwellers of Silvermoon. When you return with her, the council makes her and the protagonist undergo trials to prove the righteousness of your cause. With the local forces of Azeroth united, it's time to beam up into the Void Realm and launch a counterattack on Xal'atath. Unfortunately, no one thought that bringing the weird light-infused demon known as Lothraxion along might be a problem. You meet this cool void being known as Decimus, who's trying to use the current war to reposition himself in Void society. Lothraxion just can't keep his cool around this guy because he's so jealous of his mad game, and he just flies off the handle and attacks him.
Blind. You are all blind! I will tear the Nexus points apart and end this accursed storm once and for all!
Then we all come together and wish Lothraxion a heartfelt goodbye as we delete him from the 7 kingdoms. And then the story closes with a very brief chapter and another mention of the Paladin light craze problem with the half-elf Eretor and his human father Turellian, leaving me thinking that this is probably foreshadowing some larger conflict between the overly righteous light beings and the covert, corrupting dark forces. So, that's the broad strokes gist of the story. It feels a little bit tame for a story in a video game. However, I think it works for Warcraft because it builds out the game world in further detail. And I think it feels like the classic paradigm of good versus evil once again, which is kind of the core of pop fantasy storytelling. The main villain is aiming to destroy the known universe, and the player is fighting to stop that. There are no crazy plot twists so far, at least not yet, which is why I think the story just feels so plain to me. It's good, but it doesn't have any of the emotional hooks like some of my all-time favorite stories in the MMO Final Fantasy XIV. It seems like the one major drama scene that was intended to make me feel something was when Eretor essentially jumped in front of his father Turellian's sword, and then we had an awkward situation. They keep bringing this up like Turellian is the worst father ever, and he honestly might be, after he ripped up Eretor's art project right in front of him. That's okay though, because Eretor knows where the interdimensional clubhouse is, and Turellian hasn't even been invited yet. So far, based on what I experienced and my perspective as a fan, but not the most studious one, I would give this story a 7 out of 10, with a 10 being perfect, 5 being mid AF, and anything 4 and below is bad. It's good, not great, didn't hook me, didn't get me on the edge of my seat, but it expanded the world in a way that was cohesive and not immersion breaking. It's a pretty comfy story so far, with the classic fighting for balance amidst a great war of light and darkness motif. In the meantime, I'm going to continue to gear up within this game's fantastic endgame loop and do another video next week talking about the delves, quests, and overall world zone design. Thanks for watching my video all the way to the end. If you would like to support small content creators like me, go ahead and drop a like and a sub. We are almost to 60 subs. Did Turellian really do anything wrong? Or is Eretor just overreacting? Was anyone who has experienced familial violence triggered by this story? Thanks for watching. Have a good one.